Okay, welcome back. All right. All that I have done while we were away is I have sanded out this seam that was on here. Um, I might have to do a little bit more right there. Um, so, watching somebody sand something is pretty boring. So I didn't record any of that. This is what it looks like. And, it's sanding. What can I say? If you've watched 2 seconds of sanding, you know what sanding is. So I just did this everywhere. Um, and I just put on some music and listened to that, and just did this a lot. Um, I'm actually going at it pretty aggressively. This is 280, 280 grit sandpaper. Little display foam backs. So I figured what I would do is I hit it with this until I get it down, basically done. Then I've got this 400 that I'll go over it with. And then I rescribed some panel lines because after doing this, they kind of go away. So just a bunch of this. All I'm doing now with the 400 is just taking the rough out of it. I'm not really trying to take off anything. Um, there's all my panel lines. All right, now I'm just going to use a Q-tip with some water on it. Just water. To just kind of go over where the panel lines are, where it has got dust in it. So just getting the dust out is all. And did the bottom. Same thing, sand, panel lines. Alright, this is my scribing tool, scribe there. It comes in a set. This is Chinesium made, and they work pretty good. And I'm just trying to clear out some of the holes that are on the bottom here that are now full of dust. And I'm just using the end of my scribe here. Okay, that looks better. All right, and I have put a first coat of gunmetal on these parts. So these parts turned out really well. They won't get a second coat. These parts are so small and where they're going to be inside of here, they won't get a second coat either. Matter of fact, I didn't even worry about these ejection pins, um, ejection pin marks, um, because once you close them up, it's going to be so dark, you're not going to be able to see it anyway. So I'm not so worried about it. All right, let's do this part. This is the next thing to do for our instructions. Do a little dry fit here. Just make sure everything's going to go together really good. And of course it is. Okay. Oh, I see. All right. Gotta make sure we keep it down there. See, it kind of goes into this end down here like that. So I can't put it on this side at all. There's no way to do that. So we know it goes on this side. All right. Well, that didn't clean it out like it usually does. Oh, it's still stuck in there. There we go. Alright, I got a little bit more of it burned out of there. It's coming out a little bit better than it was. Okay, sorry. No, I'm not talking a lot. I get focused and I quit talking. So anyway, I just put the cement around the edge there. Use this Revel Contacta. Pretty good cement. Trying to even up the edges here. So I won't have to do a lot of putty work or sanding. All right, this one's already on too, so we'll go ahead and do that. Oops, sorry, I'm out of frame there. I just put the wing top on. It's no big deal. I just put a little cement. Well, you saw me put the cement down, and then I just stuck the wing on. Just trying to make sure they were lined up as well as I could, so that I could minimize any puttying or sanding. Trying to minimize that. The front did not get stuck very well. Just use a little extra thin there on the edge while I hold it. This one didn't do the same thing as this one, so this one just fought back a little bit, but that's all right. Looks pretty good now. All right, so that's the top wings. The only thing I did to the rear flight surfaces there, I'm not sure if those are ailerons or anyway, tail planes. um, so for those, I just cut them out and sandpapered the nubs off. That was it. All right, this one. So this looks like that. This like that. Okay. Tell you what, holding this just so I can cement it's going to be the challenge. Because any little slight movement it wants to pop off. All right, I got them together. Just some extra thin, just to get it to stay. Now we gotta do the same thing here. Gotta get it where I can hold it from the ends, but have it stay closed like it's supposed to. There we go. All right. Give those just a minute for the cement to take hold there. We'll go ahead and cement these on the bottom. Since I have a nice ledge there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put cement in here. This thing clogs up so easy. Okay. All right, those are in. All right, I think those have had enough time. Well, I'm stuck to my work surface there. All right, these little round bits go back here. Oops, except they're supposed to face inward. Okay. Okay, there's those two. And then they go in here. They go right here. Two little pinholes. And then the straight there bit that they go into. So these little engine bits go in there. I don't know what you call those. Oh, it's going to be seen more than I thought it was going to be seen. All right. We're going to have to wait on that. We need some more gunmetal because you are going to see those. All right. So all I'm doing is I am just making sure that the outside of this is not all streaky and showing through because these things looks like they stand up right in the middle of the engine. So you can see the outside if you look up in there. Shoot. So I guess that would be hard to show in the instruction, but they didn't actually show. They showed that this was supposed to be this color, but on the other parts, they actually showed a dark. You can see it right there. Dark area is what's supposed to be gunmetal. I went ahead and painted the whole thing because I figured, what it doesn't matter. All right, stay. I obviously can't make them stand up. All right. All right. These, I'm going to wait for them to get dry. All right, those go in there like that. I'm going to give them a minute or 10 to solidify because they need to stay in the middle. All right, we're gonna let them settle for a second. Let everything kind of stiffen up, and then I will put the two halves together. So we'll come back in a few minutes for that. Okay, welcome back. Yes, you might see some stuff moved. That's okay. I didn't do anything with these. I just let them set. It's only been about 10 minutes, if that. Um, I had there's listed here in the instructions in this little circle. It's listed as C24, and it shows it going beside these two on the bottom of the plane. Great. There was no hole there for that one either. I clobbered it with the sandpaper a while ago, or it was not there to begin with, and I don't know which. But what I've done is I took my little hand drill, what the heck's that called? Pico drill? I don't know. Small drill, hand drill, and a small drill bit, and I just drilled a little hole. I just drilled a little hole right there. Doesn't even go all the way through. Was just enough to hold a little bit of cement so I could stick that thing in there. You guys probably can't even see that. Let's go to the middle. It's this one right there. There's three there. 1, 2, 3. It's this one nearest the edge. Anyway, I don't know that you can see that. So, all right, let's put these together. We're going to put a little bit of cement on these pins in these holes just to give it a fighting chance here. You know what? I'm going to, since that worked out so well a while ago, we're going to put a little bit of cement, unless this is clogged again. I just used it. Come on now. This stuff dries up so fast. So difficult. All right. All right. Those are stuck together by the pins, but that's all. So we'll just put a little bit of cement around here. I'm not even sure which half is which now. So we'll do both sides. Then that stuff runs right around in that seam there. So we don't even have to worry about it. Just have to get it on the seam. All right, those are together. Okay. I know you guys just watch me fumble around with this. I knocked that antenna. It's not quite dry yet. All right. Oh, I see why that won't go in. See, kids, this is why you have to make sure you clean up all your nut marks. Because that's holding that out. It won't let it go in. Alright, nut mark is gone. Now let's try it. This is why you always dry fit. Well, I sure don't want to fit in there, does it? Look at this. And this is just dripping out on its own. Alright. Now we gotta figure out why this won't go in there still. I'm just cutting a little bit of plastic off right here because it kind of looked like it wasn't flash. It wasn't flash, but it was possibly was holding it out a little bit. All right, so I just did a little scrape, little scrapage. Man, this thing sure don't want to go in there. So what I'm doing, sorry, I forget that I'm recording sometimes, um, is I'm just scraping these edges right here a little bit, um, because it won't go all the way in. So this piece is a little too thick. Um, so I'm trying to do some scraping and then some fitting and see if I can get it to go down in there. See this big gap right there? Hopefully you can see that big gap. This won't go in. Oh, there it goes. Ooh, that bad boy's in there now, isn't it? Huh, I guess I'm gonna have to putty that. Alright, well, it's in. I've cemented that. Those, where it connects there, that looks like that matched that panel line, which is this gap right here, actually matches up in spacing from here to there, just like this does. So here they are all spaced out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is right there. I missed one, looks like, and then there's one right there. And then the same distance as it is from here to here, and here to here, and here to here, is from here to here. So, starting to think maybe that's supposed to be that way. So, not going to sweat it. We'll leave it just like that. That was a little bit of flash. Alright, I just did that side so they kind of match. Just noticing here where I cemented this together, this didn't come together very well. And this is sticking out a little bit right there. That doesn't do very good. It's because of the weights I had to put in there because I didn't have any solid chunk of weights. I have lead shot, which works great, but it's hard to control the shape, and so it got in the way of this a little bit, but not that much. I'll just do this and sand it down right there. until it all matches. Just pretty much now. Actually, so I'm noticing, actually, I can push that closed. This is it, the gap is right here. Open, closed. So since I can do that, I'm going to push it closed and clamp it and hit it with some cement. I guess I'll do a little bit of cement before I close it up, just to make sure it's in there. And it's all closed up. Okay. Well, all right, I guess I can do these two, and I can go ahead and do the wings. We'll just leave that flopping around on the front. All right, I gotta figure out which direction these go. So this is like this is like that, that's the back. So this one goes over here. Well, I got lucky, I guess you call that. I didn't do a dry fit, but it went on just fine. I'm so sorry you guys couldn't see that. Here, I'll make sure this time you can see this one. I did the exact same thing on the other one. I'm going to lean that up against right there. Alright, so we give it a little dry fit. The other one was really tight, so this one may not go on. Yeah, there we go. A little dry fit, it fits. So we just put a little bit of cement around there. And we stick this together. Make sure they're pushed together. They're straight up and down, which they are. There we go. Okay, so that one was a little crooked. I had to straighten that up a little bit. All right, let's go like that. Okay, give this a little test fit. That's going to be one of those pop it into place things too. All right, let's. Man, I keep pushing this over. This little antenna. All right, that little antenna thing is going to end up missing. All right. Wait a minute. I guess it does. I should have used the contact. That would have worked better. There it goes. With a terrifying click. So I'm trying to look at the gap that's there. I think that these wings need to be pitched up a little bit so they'll connect. But I don't want to. Oh yeah, look at that big old gap there. Okay. That snap is a little bit much. It is under too much tension. See if I can even get it out of there. There it goes. So I'm going to have to take a little bit off of this like I did the other. Thought this would look better, but no. There, that's a little bit better. That's not under so much tension. I am still, I think, going to put a clamp there. It's kind of that way on both sides. All right. We're going to put a little bit of cement right here. Just scraping a little bit of plastic off the bottom because just scraping a little bit of plastic off of here, that seam right there, because I stuck my big fat finger in it. So that's what we're doing here, is just scraping that a little bit. All right, we're going to use a little bit of this sandpaper on it. Because if you don't stick your thumb in it, are you even modeling? All right. Actually, it looks pretty good. I'm not going to mess with it. All right. And then this goes on the top right there. No, 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 it goes this way. Oh, wow. Look at that gap, is really big. Hmm. Yeah, those, what am I trying to say? Those wing roots right in there, there's a humongous gap. So we're going to try to use a rubber band. I like this yellow one. And we're going to try to go around and over these wings. Okay. Just pull it over here first. It should still be in frame there. I just went over the tail first so I can get it up around that wing right there. There we go. I closed that wing root up and they're even. That's how you do that. Because they're even on the pull. Yep. So we're going to take some of this cement and go along the wing root there. All right. That'll have to stay till tomorrow, just like that. That's stay till tomorrow. Um, Okay. Those things look like they were getting droopy. So, alright. So can we get this on? Ooh. Can't believe I just grabbed that by that tail stabilizer, aileron, jetteron, I don't know what it's called. I do not research these aircraft and learn the history and everything, which I know a lot of people do. They're into it because of the history. I'm actually not into it because of the history. I'm just into it because I like building. There it goes. It's a little wonky. Here we go. Okay, that's on. I'm gonna go around and make sure it's straight. Make sure it lines up correctly. It is lined up. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, that should get it. The snapping in plus some cement should get it just fine. So there we are. We don't have, of course, the landing gear on yet, but clumsy as I am, it's probably a good thing. But we have done all this. Everything's together. All right. Next will be landing gear, um, canopy, nose, some side greeblies, and then the rest of the landing gear. Do the front one first, then you do the bottom two. They want you to do this cockpit and these greeblies first before you turn it over and do the two back landing gear. So it's all about landing gear. Tomorrow, after that, it's all about bombs. I'm going to have to look and find out. There's several colors here. Just one color looks like. No, there's another color. So just a couple of colors. And I gotta figure out what this means. All I know what the parentheses mean. That means that's the other side. So there's two each of these, one on either side. Um, and then there's two of 41, 41, 41, 41. So there's 8 of them. So what does that star mean? That star is right there. Decals. So there's a bunch of decals on the side, both sides of those. Might be better to put the decals on first. Let them sit for a little bit. Those are not painted yet. Yep. Okay. Well, that's where we're at. Um, it'll be the next episode before we can do anything. Next part. So this was part 3. Um, thanks for coming. I don't do any editing. That's why this is the way it is. Um, I just do this because I want to. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And please come back for part 4. Thank you very much.